So believe it or not, there has been many Rockstar games over the years, and I have not played any one of them until completion. And you know, I've played Grand Theft Auto San Andreas on I think it was the PS4 or after PS2 or the PS3. I played a bit of GTA 5. I've played quite a bit of the first Red Dead Redemption. I don't think I actually ever finished it. But this is the first game that I'm fixing to finish. Um, so far in the 10 hours that I've played, it has been a very interesting experience. Something that I have not seen in any other games, and the realism behind everything is truly mind-blowing. I think there are a handful of things that I do not like so far because of the game. And it's this. This is the fastest you can move around in the camp. I would have appreciated it if we could have run around in the camp. Just, you know, move a little bit faster. Up until you pass that tree, this is the speed, or this is the speed you are capped to, which I do not appreciate all that much. Second thing I don't appreciate all that much is the fact that your weapons, oh, well, you can't see it now, but your weapons unequip themselves on the horse. Your weapons that you choose from your horse do not stay equipped, which is a bit of a nuisance. Once you get weapons, you have to go back to your horse. And then I think the last thing I really don't like is Micah. I was just on a rant about how I do not like Micah. Because in the beginning of the game, the dude terrorizes a freaking hero. And now, because of a mission that I had to go save his ass, I am left with a bounty of what more than I can afford. And the most money I've accumulated during the game is $160, I think. And I used it to buy this lovely little horse. I somehow lost my first horse that gives you in the beginning of the game. And I've been looking for it in the camp. I can't find it. That horse is forever missing. I've tried mounting all of these different horses and they tell me it belongs to other people. Wait. This is a horse. It's you. No, it's not. You see. So, my first horse is just missing. I don't know where he is. I have bonded with him, I think, up until level 4. By the time I got that horse. So, you know, a little disappointed about that. But the game makes up in spades for those. I mean, the fact that you can walk into the middle of a town, I have not unlocked any form of fast traveling yet. But you can walk in the middle of town and you can call shit with a random stranger just by antagonizing them. You can walk, you press your L2 or LT button, and it literally gives you the option to antagonize people, which is weird. You don't see stuff like that in other games. Or you could de-escalate the situation, or you could threaten them, or you could just outright shoot them. There was a side mission in... Well, not a side mission. I think it's just a random encounter. It was a little bit higher. This area. I came across a dude that was shooting. And he was looking for a proper gunsmith. And I offered to join his challenge. And we shot a few pots. And after he lost, very horribly I might add, he ended up increasing the stakes and told me that, listen, we're gonna shoot birds for a little bit more money. I ended up losing the challenge, and I got the option to shoot the dude.
Calm down.
Listen, I'm trying to take the horse out. Come. Alright, so this is probably another thing that I don't like. But I ended up shooting the guy because I didn't want to give him my money. I wanted money, and it was $15, like I said. it's not easy for me to, I haven't found an easy way to accumulate wealth. Wealth comes in very slowly. So I shot the dude, and my honor went down. I did not know certain actions impact your character's honor. And upon doing so, I committed a bunch of atrocities so far. Shot witnesses after I robbed them. Well, no. There was a witness that I de-escalated the situation. He said, alright, he won't split on me. I decided, cool, I'm gonna rob you. I robbed the dude. And then I decided to shoot him. All three of those actions brought down my honor. What is that? No. I'm in the middle of a video. How rude are you? I think I found out what people are around. But anyway. And as Arthur's honor came down, his responses to certain things. And then I did a bunch of good acts, and his responses changed again, which increased mine. So that is a very nice thing to realize. Oh my goodness. Horse, are you alive?
Okay, boy. Let's go.
And in the beginning of the game, this really bugged me. It angered me quite a bit, but it was very entertaining. It was a mission where you take the ladies into balance with that other dude. I can't remember. I rode, a carriage broke down, and I had the option to help this. I helped him because I'm a good. Aside from the fact that I should stop losing a challenge. But I helped the dude. I went and fetched his horse, and the people were like, "Oh, cool, Arthur, you're so great," and all that. Then I proceeded onward, and I didn't know how to stop the carriage. I ran my horse into a train, and the horses died. I had to start that entire section over. So I helped the dude again. Came to the train station, figured out on the way there how to stop the carriage. I did so, and the dude ran into me with his horses. He was on the wrong side of the road, which I maintain, you Americans, you drive on the wrong side of the road. The right side of the road is the left side, and I was on the left side of the road, and I rode into his horse, his horses, carriage, and the horses tangled up on each other, and one of them died, and the dude started to shoot me. I failed again, and that little bit of experience caused me more joy than I have experienced in a long while. And here's another side activity. These side activities are so well placed, in my opinion. I mean, if you run around in a regular game's forest, say, let's take The Witcher 3 for example. You'll come across a monster's nest, or you'll come across a camp of bandits. You'll come across a hidden stuff like that. Or let's take Skyrim. You'll come across a random tomb, or a random band of mages or necromancers, or stuff like that. There's always activities going on in the middle of a forest. In any game, there's always collectibles.
Yep.
Take any Assassin's Creed. Well, Assassin's Creed is not really. Assassin's Creed is literally. But any game where you have to roam a forest, there's always something waiting for you in the forest. A gameplay opportunity. Where in Red Dead Redemption, it's a real freaking forest. The most activity you'll run into are animals. And sometimes you'll find strangers camped on the road, which offer you unique side quests or unique encounters. There was a bloke I helped who had a snake bite. I had to either suck out the venom or cure the dude. I didn't have the cure, so I sucked out the venom. Arthur's reactions are very, very fun. Also, speaking of Arthur, he is a very likable character. There was a mission I did with Linde, and I took Linde into town and we had a blast. And when Arthur gets drunk, Well, let me first say, when he is sober, he acts like a smart ass, a very sarcastic smart ass, which is fun. I don't mind that. But he acts like a real freaking drunk person. When he gets drunk, he turns lovable, he turns goofy, which is strange to say the least. It's not something you see in a video game. Normally when people get drunk in video games, the controls are a bit weird to handle. But that mission was so far the most laughs I've had in a video. I've played many video games over the years, and I laughed quite a bit during that mission. It was a hell of a blast. Arthur has very snarky comments towards people. He has very serious and very, like, real threatening. If he had to tell me some of the shit he told or told NPCs in the game, I would be like, alright, shit, I'll listen to you. And then he has very caring moments. He is a genuinely likable character. Now,
Lily May, you think you're so great.
this is another part.
Strutting around.
Let's listen what this
Hey,
guy.
mister. I just want to be left alone, all right?
A sentiment
So-
I'm familiar with. Fair enough, kid.
Come on, mister. This here's my patch. I'm using it.
So Arthur's a very likable person. I've had no points where I'm like, you're questionable, or you're kind of boring. Oh my goodness. Let's leave with him. What this place origins. There's another place where I'm wanted, dead or alive or something. But anyway, I genuinely like Arthur as a character, which is, you know, you get your video game characters that you love. There's plenty of them that are close to my heart. Geralt, Rivia, Ezio, Ettore, Edward Kenway, and probably many more, but I can't. But Arthur is already creeped up on the top of that list where I'm like, this is so far my favorite video game because he acts like a real person. An outlaw, don't get me wrong, definitely an outlaw, but he acts like a real person who he has feelings, he has character, he has passion, he has anger, charm, all those kinds of things. So the protagonist, the weird shit you can do in the game, the skinning of animals. You have to go hunt animals to feed your camp. That is so freaking weird. And I mean, the camp has people that hunt. They do have a supply of food, but if you do not contribute, they. And that level of, how can I put it, realism almost, is something I've not experienced anywhere else in a video game. And I like stuff. I like stuff that forces me to be included in the game, it immerses me in the game to a point where I feel it's going to be a memorable experience. And many people on TikTok, someone has told me that they have played many games and this is the best game they've played. So, you know, so far I see the hype. I've not nearly played enough to be like, yeah, this is gonna be mine. But I'm definitely, like I said, fixing to finish it. I'm not gonna play halfway. The game has me hooked already, and it's so far in, I'd say, the top 10 of my most memorable games. We'll see how high it climbs that list. But I'm really enjoying this game. The fact that you can look at this shit. In what other game, like The Witcher 3 has for many years held the title as my favorite video game. In The Witcher 3, you couldn't pet Roach. I would have liked to pet.
Yeah, okay, boy.
You couldn't brush Roach. I would have liked to brush
That's
Roach.
better, boy.
I would have liked to talk
Let's
a bit
go,
more to Roach,
boy.
other than hear Geralt say, Roach, or let's go,
Yep.
or yeah. you know, it's a nice change of pace. I can take care of my horse, and me and the horse bond. The horse was very skittish when I found him. He would scare easily, and now it's like he trusts me more. How strange is that? And the wildlife that runs around. The way you can skin an animal is insane. Here comes a deer. Let's see if I can get it. Like, obviously the skinning is not as realistic as it probably could be in real life. But you know, it's much more detailed than I have ever. This thing just does himself on the tip. We're not going to be catching it. But the random wildlife you found all over the place. There was a part in the forest where I saw NPCs cut down a tree. Like living their day-to-day lives. Normally in games, cities and villages and what have you do not feel nearly as populated, lived in, as what they do in this game. There we go. I've never skinned a turkey in the game before. Let's see the turkey. But this game is lived in. This game is alive. The only other game that I feel came close to it was The Witcher 3, where what's that? What's his name? Novigrad. Novigrad is one of the most lived-in towns in any video game I've experienced. But this takes the cake. I mean, the people there remember you when you go back and meet them or talk to them. The actions you take are remembered. In Valentine, a lot of people were angry at me because I caused a whole bunch of bar fights. And, you know, I can't get over the realism of it. I'm truly like this. You can respond to every NPC you come across. If you walk through a town, they're like, oh, you're a jackass. And you can repay in kind, screw you, you're a jackass, and then maybe start a fight. Or you could de-escalate the situation. And sometimes they'll appreciate the fact that you de-escalated the situation, or they'll just outright insult you, like call you a little bitch. That's something unheard of in other video games. So I definitely think that this will be a game to remember. I already have quite a few fond memories in the 10 hours that I've played, but I think it will surpass that based on what I have experienced. And I have barely scratched the surface. Look at this. I've barely scratched the surface. I thought first, when I got to this area, that this section over here and this little section was the map. Until I realized there are roads going into that direction and there are roads going into that direction, just stupidly far. And I've not even finished chapter 2 yet. And like I said, I'm 10 hours into the game. So really, I think this game has a lot of potential. And if all of the hype is real, I will be more than happy. Because, let's be honest, we don't get great games anymore. We have a handful of great games, but most of the new games that come out are let down. Star Wars, okay, well, Ubisoft, most of Ubisoft games are let down. But very few games that come out these days are games that you go like, wow. Even Dragon's Dogma. I enjoyed Dragon's Dogma a whole lot. It was a very, very fun video. So far, I'm enjoying this more in the beginning than the first 10 hours of this game, I'm enjoying more than I enjoyed the first 10 hours of the game. So, if all the hype is real, I will be more than happy. Like I said, we don't get quality video games. So, I really hope this is one of them, and many, many people say that this is the best game ever made. I have strong hesitations about that sentiment, but you know, my mind might change. So far, Sekiro holds that title for me as my favorite video game, but I can definitely see the potential that this game is hyped up to have. But with all that being said, thank you so much for watching. Stay tuned, and I'll have more Red Dead Redemption coming your way soon.